Welcome to Podcasting for Personal Brands. In this episode, we're navigating through an essential phase of starting a podcast, crafting its purpose and determining the target audience. This step, albeit not always straightforward, is the foundation that guides the journey ahead. Let's first unpack the notion of a podcast's purpose. The purpose transcends the confines of episode themes or subject areas. It represents the heart and soul of your podcast, the driving force behind every word spoken and topic chosen. Are you hoping to deliver knowledge in a specific field? Or do you aspire to create a platform for sharing inspirational stories? Maybe your goal is to entertain and lighten the mood of your listener's day. Understanding this purpose helps steer your podcast, ensuring you remain on track as your podcast evolves and grows. In the realm of podcasting, your purpose intertwines with what we call the unique value proposition, the distinct value that sets your podcast apart. In a sea of over 2 million podcasts, uniqueness is paramount. Perhaps you bring to the table years of industry expertise, or maybe you have an uncanny ability to simplify complex subjects. Pinpointing this unique value proposition provides a differentiating factor, a compelling reason for listeners to choose your podcast over others. With a well-defined purpose in hand, we shift our focus to the target audience. This group represents your ideal listeners, the individuals who will find the most value in your podcast. Understanding this audience is pivotal to aligning your content to meet their interests, preferences, and needs. Identifying your target audience involves a deep dive into the characteristics and behaviors of your ideal listener. What kind of content resonates with them? What challenges do they face that your podcast can help overcome? Do they prefer bite-sized episodes or in-depth discussions? Answering these questions helps you tailor your podcast to your audience, enhancing its relevance and appeal. Additionally, it's important to consider demographic and psychographic factors. Demographics like age, gender, location, occupation, and education level provide a basic profile of your audience. Psychographics, which include attitudes, interests, and behaviors, give you more nuanced insights. The more detailed your audience profile, the more personalized and engaging your podcast can be. Having outlined your podcast purpose and your target audience, it's time to ensure alignment between the two. Your podcast should serve your audience's needs and interests. If your purpose is to educate about sustainable living and your audience comprises environmentally conscious individuals, there's a clear alignment. Your podcast purpose and audience should complement each other, creating a symbiotic relationship that fuels the success of your podcast. Take time to clearly define your podcast's purpose and deeply understand your target audience. It may involve research and refinement, but this foundational work significantly influences your podcast's trajectory. Remember, clarity and purpose and a deep understanding of your audience can transform your podcast from a mere voice in the crowd to a resonating echo that captivates and holds listeners. That wraps up our in-depth exploration of defining a podcast's purpose and identifying a target audience in this episode of Podcasting for Personal Brands. Join us in the next episode as we delve into the various podcast formats and help you choose the one that aligns with your unique brand and audience. Until then, here's to taking the first steps in your podcasting journey.
That's it for this episode. Make sure you check the show notes for additional resources. We would love to hear your feedback, and it would mean the world to us if you would leave us a review. We appreciate your time, and we will see you on the next one.